when we stumble across a turtle at night, so like this beach you see is an active nesting beach, so we'll patrol the beaches every night from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. because that's when they usually come up to nest. And we would look for the turtle tracks, which kind of look like tire tracks.
9, 10:08.
If we do encounter a turtle, we have to be very careful so as to not disturb her or to scare her off. And once we encounter her, we'll see at what stage is she in laying her eggs. Or, so initially they'll start digging a body pit, and after they dig a body pit, they'll start digging an egg chamber. So there are many different steps to her actually laying her eggs. Yeah, like you were saying, we do collect a lot of data on them. So we collect biometric data, being the length of her shell, the width of her shell, and we also check for tags. Tagging is one way in which you can identify nesting mothers, and also we take photos of their facial scales because the facial scales are as unique as like a human fingerprint. Every single mother has a different combination of facial scales. So that can be entered into software, and then we can match it with other pictures to see if this mom has laid before or where she's laid before, and we can also share it with other organizations, their nesting intervals or the mother's preference of where she nests and what time she nests and on what beach. So collecting all this information is really important because then you can better inform your decisions on how to conserve a particular species. So we use red light because it's a lot less harsh on the turtles, and studies have been done that shows that of all the colors, red is the least disruptive to the turtles. So that's why we use red light. We don't want to scare her off, and we don't want to disrupt the whole process.
You can always mitigate natural threats, but when humans come in the picture, it's 100% mortality. Yeah, turtles as a species, they're not really suited for human threats already because they take so long to mature. They take 20 to 30 years to reach reproductive age. As a species, they have a very low survival rate. Yeah, so even without all the human threats that we are adding, they're already finding it difficult to reach adulthood.
So with turtles, there's no risk of injury to us, but there's risk of, scaring them away. We have to be very composed around them and make sure we're doing everything properly, and that we're doing actual proper conservation work, because at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? For them to come up and lay as many eggs as possible, so to continue the survival of their species, so those eggs can hatch into hatchlings, and so that they can emerge and go off into the sea where they'll live hopefully long lives and come back to the very same beaches that they were born in. In Terengganu, the sale of turtle eggs is actually still legal, and how that works is that the beaches are operated on a tender system. I like to think, and I have seen actually, that even especially amongst Terengganu locals, like because we get a lot of interns who are local, they are the generation that is saying no to turtle eggs, or is more conservation minded, or just more conscious about what they use, what they consume.
Right now, I would say, to be honest, I'm not sure like what is the bigger threat. Is it like egg poaching and egg consumption? Or is it like the adult population itself is being decimated from fishing? Adults with drowned in fishing nets, that's like a big issue. Industrial fishing and stuff, there's like notorious levels of bycatch. Bycatch is like the unintended species from fishing. Yeah, so you want to catch like this edible species of fish, but at the same time you'll be catching like everything else that's caught in the net. But you can imagine like obviously you wouldn't just be catching the fish that you intend to catch, you just be catching everything. It's not, it's indiscriminate basically. Yeah. The scale of it is insane. Like long lines can be like few hundred kilometers long, and then there are things like seabed trawling. It's just like a massive contraption where you drag along the seabed. Swamp fishing is really bad. We have that in East Malaysia still, even though it's outlawed. So they would detonate explosives to like kill all the fish in an area, and it's also indiscriminate. So any other species, turtles or whatever, and corals especially. So even the physical landscape would be destroyed from that. Like it's just hard to picture, honestly.